In March 2024, the real estate industry changed forever when the National Association of Realtors agreed to a $418 million settlement in an antitrust lawsuit about how agents get paid. But what exactly happened? And more importantly, how will it affect buyers and sellers and real estate professionals going forward? Today, we're unpacking the NAR Commission lawsuit, arguably the most consequential legal case in modern real estate history. We'll walk through what the lawsuit was about, why it matters to almost anyone involved in property transactions, and how the industry is adapting to a new reality. This video is for informational purposes only and is not intended as legal advice about real estate practices or commissions.
A change is coming to the real estate world.
Lawsuits that could change the home buying experience.
I even think the people who made the amendments are confused.
What does it really mean if you're looking to buy or sell a home?
Let's start with the basics here. For decades, real estate commissions in the US typically followed a standard pattern. Sellers would pay a commission of around 5 to 6% of the home's sale price, which would be split between their listing agent and the buyer's agent. This commission structure became the industry norm, facilitated through the multiple listing service, or MLS, the database system used by real estate professionals to share property listings. The lawsuits, which were eventually consolidated into a single class action case, Burnett versus NAR, claimed this system violated antitrust laws by effectively fixing commission rates at artificially high levels. The plaintiffs alleged that NAR and major brokerages were engaging in a conspiracy that inflated commissions and prevented price competition. Specifically, they challenged NAR's rules requiring sellers to offer compensation to buyers' agents as a condition of listing on the MLS. The plaintiffs' argument was straightforward. Since sellers were essentially forced to offer buyer agent commissions to get their properties on the MLS, and since buyer agents controlled which homes their clients saw, there was little incentive for buyer agents to compete on price. This, they claimed, artificially kept commissions high and harmed consumers. As the lawsuit proceeded through the courts, it gained momentum. In October 2023, a Missouri jury delivered a bombshell verdict against NAR and several major brokerages, awarding $1.8 billion in damages, which could have been tripled to $5.4 billion under antitrust law. Facing potentially devastating financial consequences and the possibility of similar lawsuits across the country, NAR simply chose to settle. In March 2024, they agreed to a $418 million settlement and, more significantly, accepted sweeping changes to industry practices. What exactly changed? The settlement fundamentally altered three key aspects of real estate transactions. First, offers of compensation to buyer's agents can no longer be displayed on the MLS. This means that listing agents and sellers aren't required to offer compensations to buyer's agents through the MLS system. Second, NAR now prohibits the practice of filtering MLS listings based on commission amounts, preventing buyer's agents from only showing homes with higher commission rates. And third, perhaps most importantly, buyer representation agreements are now required, meaning buyers must sign contracts with their agents before touring homes. Let's explore what each of these means in practice. The removal of cooperative compensation from the MLS represents a fundamental shift. Previously, a seller's agent would list a property with a specific offer to the buyer's agent, usually between 2.5% to 3% of the sale price. Now, that offer can't be published on the MLS, making it much less automatic. This doesn't mean buyer's agents won't get paid. It means that how they get paid is changing. Instead of automatically expecting compensation from the seller, buyer's agents now need to explicitly discuss their compensation with their clients. This leads to the most visible change for consumers: buyer representation agreements. These are formal contracts between the buyer and their agent that specify the scope of services the agent will provide, the length of the relationship, and most importantly, how the agent will be compensated. These agreements aren't entirely new, but they weren't universally required before. Now, they're mandatory before a buyer's agent can show properties to clients. This creates a critical choice point for buyers. How will they pay their agent? There are several possibilities emerging. One option is for buyers to pay their agents directly, usually as a percentage of the purchase price or as an hourly or flat fee. Another option is for the buyer and seller to negotiate so that the seller covers some or all of the buyer's agent fee as part of the overall deal. A third possibility is for the buyer to finance their agent's fee as part of their mortgage, effectively spreading the costs over the loan term. And a fourth scenario involves lenders potentially creating new loan products specifically designed to cover buyer's agent fees. The settlement also forces transparency around commissions. Listing agents must now clearly disclose that commissions are negotiable and that buyers should discuss compensation with their agents before beginning their home search. So, how is this affecting the real estate market? It's been a little over a year and a half now, and while we did see some significant impacts early on, nowadays things have kind of stabilized and it's become the norm. When initially any buyer would pick any old agent, nowadays agents have to really do a great job of selling themselves if they're going to be bound into a contract with that buyer. So they really got to know their stuff. Some buyers are now negotiating lower fees with their agents, particularly for higher priced properties. And what we see a lot of the time is the sellers are still covering the buyer's agent's costs, but it's not explicitly mentioned on the MLS because, of course, it can't be. Some brokerages are shifting to flat fee or tiered pricing models instead of straight percentage commissions. There's growing segmentation in services, with some agents offering limited a la carte options while others emphasize full service value. And we're seeing increased emphasis on agent quality and service differentiation as price competition becomes more transparent. It's important to note that while the settlement applies specifically to NAR members, its effect ripples throughout the industry. NAR represents about 1.5 million realtors, the vast majority of real estate agents in the US, and the MLS systems affected by the settlement are the primary marketplaces for residential real estate. Critics, however, worry it could create barriers for first-time homebuyers who might struggle to pay agent fees out of pocket. They also suggest that it might reduce agent compensation overall, potentially driving professionals from the industry and affecting service quality. There's also uncertainty about how this will play out in different market segments. In luxury markets, buyers may have more flexibility to negotiate fees or pay directly. In more affordable markets, the impact on buyers with limited cash reserves could be more significant. Another interesting consideration is how this might affect the seller experience. Traditionally, sellers paid both the agent's commissions, which was built into their pricing strategy. Now, with buyer-agent compensation becoming more varied and potentially separate, sellers may need to reconsider their pricing and negotiation approaches. The full impact of these changes will take years to fully materialize, but we're already seeing some early signs of a transformed industry. Here's some key trends to watch. First, expect a greater variety of service models and pricing structures. Second, there will be more emphasis on agent value proposition. Third, technology platforms may step in to connect buyers with agents through new business models. And finally, we may see increased regulatory action to ensure the new system operates fairly and transparently for all parties. Now, for buyers and sellers navigating this new landscape, here are some practical considerations. If you're a buyer, interview multiple agents and discuss compensation models up front. Consider the value provided versus the cost and get everything in writing. If you're a seller, recognize that buyer-agent compensation may now be a more explicit part of the negotiation process. Factor this into your pricing and offer a valuation strategy. And for both buyers and sellers that understand, they always have been, but now that negotiability is more transparent and direct. The NAR settlement represents a seismic shift in how real estate services are marketed and compensated. While the full implications are still unfolding, one thing is clear: real estate transactions will become more transparent with greater variation in how agents are paid and services are structured. I'll tell you one thing that we have seen a year and a half after this settlement kind of came into existence is things have kind of stabilized a little bit. If you're listing your property on the market, it's safe to assume that you're probably going to have to pay the buyer's agent a little bit of a fee. Buyer's agents are still required to showcase your property even if you're not offering them compensation, but there's a little bit of moral obligation to provide that buyer a little bit of something. While it's not legal in writing, the moral compass of many kind of takes over and they still do offer it, especially for those buyer clients of those buyer agents. If they know their agent is not being compensated, they may walk away from a property because they don't want to pay their agent out of pocket and they feel bad if their agent's not getting any compensation from the seller. So what we've seen is that it's becoming part of the process regardless. Flux Media is a real estate media company. We are not licensed to provide legal advice, real estate services, or financial consulting. If you have specific questions about commissions, contracts, or legal matters related to real estate transactions, we highly recommend speaking with a licensed real estate attorney or professional. If you enjoyed this specific breakdown of the NAR Commission lawsuit, subscribe for more content that explains the evolving world of real estate, housing markets, and property transactions. Square footage, squared away. This is Square Foot Note.